look at this.
Want to be a girl so bad. You will never be a fucking girl, bitch. You is a sir.
People are so weird. Preferred pronouns? What's next? Preferred adjectives? Oh my god, don't call me sis.
Can you call yourself sex repulsed if you still enjoy spicy content? Terms like sex repulsed describe our relationship to the act itself, not to content that includes it or things around the act. So you can enjoy spicy adjacent things without wanting to participate in the act itself. A useful bit of language here, agosexual. It's a micro-label that many who feel the same way you do often use to describe themselves and their experience.
So I was talking with my co-parent the other day, and we're both non-binary, and we were talking about how the 5-year-old has come up with the best compliment for non-binary people, and it is just like so pure and so accurate, and it just made me feel so good about myself coming from him. But yeah, he tells us, you're looking really neither today. It's so cute, what?
It would be so awesome. It would be so cool.
Do you see how that's incredibly offensive?
Yes, I do. That's why I said it.
Hi, if you're anything like me, you're probably stressed the fuck out about the world right now, but you might not be comfortable owning the thing that goes bang for your own mental health reasons. And I'm here to give you some tips and suggestions and other hobbies that you can indulge in to help with that. First off, right off the bat, we have America's pastime, baseball. Woo. Who doesn't love throwing their baseball mitt and a baseball in the trunk of their car and going and hitting a few pop flies in the park every now and then? Also, do you ever have problems when you're changing your spare tire and you need extra leverage to get the existing tire off so that you can put the spare on? Certain long metal objects, like a crowbar for example, can be very useful in these circumstances. Gardening is another hobby that you may find entertaining in your down times. Many gardening implements can be large and unwieldy, but there are many smaller versions of those which you can purchase and always keep with a pair of gardening gloves and one of those knee pads for your knees because you know you got bad knees. And, just make sure to always be wearing safety glasses when operating with some of those. And those are just a few. If you have more, leave them in the comments for other hobbyists and enthusiasts of not dying.
Let's talk about why asexuality is inherently an LGBTQ+ identity. In order to be part of the LGBTQ+ community, an identity has to stray from the societal norms of cisgender and heterosexual. And using the split attraction model, heteroromantic is also required. Asexual is not heterosexual. The word asexual translates directly to not sexual, meaning not experiencing sexual attraction. Whereas heterosexual is experiencing sexual attraction to a different gender. Asexuals have an experience that is incredibly different from the heterosexual experience, even if they're heteroromantic and still experience straight romantic attraction. In fact, I'd argue that asexuality is one of the most queer things you can be because it entirely goes against our society's idea of what sexuality is. So with all that being said, regardless of romantic orientation, asexuality is always LGBTQ+.
Cambridge Dictionary added a trans-inclusive definition of woman. An adult who lives and identifies as female, though they may have been said to have a different sex at birth. There you go. There's your definition.
Ever heard someone say,
"Oh, but what about a straight pride?"
Well, here are 9 reasons why we don't actually need one. Straight people aren't being murdered for being straight. Straight people can travel without fear of being straight. Straight people have always been legally able to marry. Straight people have never been jailed for being straight. Straight people don't face heterophobia in the workplace. Straight people aren't called sinners for being straight. Straight people see representation across all pop culture. Straight people don't have to face the fear of being rejected by their friends or family for coming out. And finally, straight people don't have suicidal thoughts for being straight.
Hey, stop. Hey, hold on. Hey!
You need to be aware of a new form of conversion therapy that is recently becoming popular. It's called gender exploratory therapy, and it targets trans people. The way that it works is it seeks to explore all possible reasons that a trans person could be trans other than being trans. They will always reject the idea that the person is trans. And what they do is they hold treatments and hormone therapy and puberty blockers just out of reach while they explore this other reason for being trans. Note, they will never accept a trans identity. The idea is to run the clock out on puberty and to force the trans person to go as far into puberty as possible, so that way the trans person feels like they cannot transition anymore. This form of conversion therapy is currently being pushed by many different organizations. GenSpect, SEGM, Transgender Trend, it's a who's who list of anti-trans orgs. However, it's also being promoted by the Catholic Psychotherapy Association and Chastity International, 2 organizations that support conversion therapy. It would be really easy for well-meaning parents to get swept into gender exploratory therapy. That's why it's really important that we come out and let it be known that this practice is barbaric.
They say that like if you go to war and you lose a hand, you'll have a phantom hand there for the rest of your life. Me transitioning from male to female, I have phantom pockets. Like I just used to have. I'm gonna break my iPhone one day.
Really, what's your major? Oh, it's mathematics. Wow, you're so smart. I could never do that.
I cannot keep having the same conversation.
I'm non-binary. But you look like a girl. Sure. So you admit it, you're a girl. Stop. Could it be possible that the way that I perceive myself may be different than the way that you perceive me? And when it comes to who knows more about who, don't you think that I might know more about what's going on with myself than you know about what's going on with myself? Then why don't you make yourself look more like a boy? Because first of all, I'm not a boy and I don't want to be a boy. Second of all, it is not non-binary people's jobs to look more ambiguous for you. Androgyny does not equal non-binary. And if non-binary looked like and was one thing, it would not be non-binary. Okay, so even though I think you look like a girl, you're not completely a girl? Yes. You're a girl.
Hey, if you're trans, could you stick around for a second? I just wanted to tell you that I believe you about who you are. I know some of your families don't, but I'm proud of you, and I love you. You're doing great. Keep going.
It expired in August of 2012.